What's going on, everybody? It's Andrew Laird, aka Delicious Dynamite Droopy. How's it going? Welcome to the Music Machine Podcast, episode 2. Start the show. All right, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing okay in the quarantine, whatnot. If you're watching this in like 2027, uh, you'll just think back and be like, well, when did you talk about quarantine? Yeah, 2020 is a fucking weird ass year. Anyways, today we're going to talk about songwriting and song structure. And this is a very interesting topic because there's so many ways to go about it. Before you get to the actual structure and the songwriting itself, I think it's really important that you need to find your sound. And what I mean by your sound is find out what you're really good at. And I would say when it comes to songwriting, the first thing you want to think about is maybe playing and writing down like the stuff that you come up with in your head. And sometimes I think most of the time you're gonna write these songs based on songs you've already heard that you kind of manipulate, if that makes sense. It could be anything. Like you can hear certain chords and be like, oh, it'd be cool if it was played like this. Boom, you just wrote something. So there's that. And then finding your sound and is you can definitely write similar to the stuff that you hear on the radio. It's probably the easiest kind of stuff to write. That's why it's on the radio, because it's commercially pleasing and there's so much of it. You just really need a good melody and a good sound and good lyrics, meaningful lyrics, whatnot. It's not that easy. It's easier said than done. But if you want to write in that style, that's cool. I just think personally, with the industry now and the ability to upload whatever you want to Spotify, YouTube, you got SoundCloud, iTunes, just everything. With the sheer amount of musicians and bands and rappers and country artists, whatever it is, I think that to start fresh now is a perfect opportunity to just try your best to be different. That is not going to be an easy task. This is where you really need to take your discipline seriously. Don't settle for mediocre songwriting. And it might take you a while to even understand that. Think about it like this. So if you write a song right now, imagine yourself 5 years or even 10 years from now listening to that exact song. If you think that this is the song that's going to last 10 plus years, then you're in the ballpark. You might fool yourself, though. You have to be extremely creative, but you also have to capture the listener, like immediately, by the way. No more long intro bullshit. I mean, within seconds, their ears have to be tingling. A little tingle in the ear. Kind of sucks you in a little bit. Makes you go, ooh. What's the next 2.5 minutes gonna sound like? Off the bat. And then you have to find your thing. So there's your sound, which is your structure, how you write, your tones, all this and that. Then there's your thing. That's what's really difficult, because most things are taken, but not necessarily. You just have to figure out what works for you. It can even boil down to how your song sounds, how you mix it. Like, that's the beauty of doing music yourself. Is it takes a long time to learn. But let's say you just start getting good at mixing and your songs are exceptional. Try some weird shit, whether it comes to like the EQ or reverbs or different types of snares, just different sounds. Synths is a big synths are in right now. If you don't know what a synth is, it's basically like electronic noises. Like basically, especially in the metal and rock industry, there's only a few bands that are just raw. Other than that, you always have those little nice background, like little ambient space sounds, or the winds, the flutes, the little violins, just piano, like all that shit. It is in right now. So you got to be creative when it comes to synths, but that can be your thing. You know what I mean? If every song has a certain element, that's what people come back for. People listen to System of a Down because it's insane. The lyrical content is bizarre. The vocals are insane. Oh, insane. And just the song structures. It's their thing. Korn, another great example. What do they got going for them? They've got insane lyrical content and another very unique voice. But on top of that, their thing. This blew my mind. Their thing. If you've ever listened really closely to a Korn song, like at least 90% of them, they've got that nice little crunchy just in the background that's not in any other band, and it's literally just it's a bass tone, and they probably have fat ass strings, and they just drop tune it until you pluck it and the bass just goes but they use that to their advantage and it sounds fucking gnarly. Point of the story, you got to find your own little thing like that. That's the reason that people come back every time. If you think of like the greatest bands of all time, they all just had their own style. Like Led Zeppelin, you got Robert Plant, he had that voice that nobody else had until Greta Van Fleet. I kind of like Greta Van Fleet better. Anyway, moving on. So, songwriting. Yeah. You need to find your own sound. And that could be anything. That could be your guitar tone. That could be your vocal style. Try to be different. Try to, like, you could be a good singer, but if you're just singing it's just like, I fucking heard that shit before. Play around with the stuff. Do vocal coaching. Kind of just experiment. Make weird fucking noises, because it might sound weird and make you feel uncomfortable, but 3 years from now it's on the radio. People are like, I like when he went. It's a terrible example. I'm just trying to help you guys, okay? So be different. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be weird, because weird is in. Next, I want to talk about songwriting a little bit, because this is what can choke people up. If you, because for me anyways, it took me a while to write a song that was structurally sound and made sense from start to finish. And it wasn't until years after that I started realizing, oh man, a lot of the times I was always just starting with the beginning of the song. Like, what do I want to hear immediately? And in my personal opinion, the best way to start a song is with the chorus. I mean that wholeheartedly. I stand by that. Every great song that I've ever written or been a part of has started with a chorus, and then you build a foundation around that. So when building a chorus, you can start with literally just a melody. So just think of melodies in general. There's so many melodies. Every song has a melody, and every melody is unique for the most part. You can even take a melody and tweak it a little bit and be like, there you go, that's it. But start with your little melody. It doesn't matter. Just think of, different songs, or just come up with, it's just anything. Just whatever the hell it is. Think of your melody. Then come up with the concept. My girl broke my heart and I'm hurting. Man, she fucked me up and I don't like her. And she just got another boyfriend. You know what I mean? Whatever. That's all it takes for a solid chorus. You come up with your melody, get a nice little concept, throw some fucking words in there, add your little flair. Once you have that, and I think, first of all, vocals is the first thing, because you want the vocals to be at the front of everything. You literally want to grab them. This is what I'm trying to say, and I'm backed by everything else. So you get your vocal melody, you track that shit, and then you come in with your instrument, whether it be piano, you add your little bass. If you're doing like a beat or like a alternative or like a pop sound, you just add the shit behind there. For me, it would be, let's just add some rhythm guitars. rhythm guitars, add that shit in there, and you'll kind of hear it in your head when you hear could be like just whatever fits in that little pocket, and you'll know. And after you get that nice little thing, you can always tweak it later. That's the beauty of songwriting. Whatever you write doesn't have to set in stone. You don't have to write a song in 3 minutes and then release it in 12. That's not how it works. You could do multiple drafts. But if you're on like your 30th draft and it's still not hitting right, trash the song. Don't care how much you loved it when you started, trash it. If you're not in love with it after your, I would say 2 or 3 revisions of the song, and if it still just ain't hitting that spot and making the goosebumps stand up, gone. Cut it out. Not even worth it. It has to be the shit from the get-go. And you can send this shit to your friends and get feedback before you even hit that 3rd draft. Do a couple revisions and then send it off to your bubs and be like, hey, what you think of this song? What's it need? And if you have good friends, they'll be like, this song fucking sucks. You should do this. This part would sound better if you sang like this. A shitty friend would be like, that's all dude on SoundCloud right now. So pick and choose who you want to listen to your music. Don't pick someone who you're showing a song and they just pull out their phone, just stares at their phone screen the whole time. No. Nope. You want to show people that are engaged. You want to show people that'll sit there and be like, you know what? I like what you're doing. I fucks with it. Okay, so you got a chorus. Chorus is done. Boom. Rough draft anyways. You have a rough draft of your chorus. It can be meaningful. It can be whatever. And then there it is. So then what I like to do after that is imagine what would come after the chorus. And a lot of times what comes after the chorus is also going to be how the song starts. And I'm speaking just in rock and roll. And I'm just talking in rock and metal and hard rock, whatever it is. So you got your chorus, and then it'll just break into this nice like just something you hear in your head. And then you're like, oh, cool. So you put that there. Then you're like, oh, well, after that would be a verse, the second verse. So you don't have to write the second verse, but just kind of think of how it would sound. It'll just be maybe the same thing. Maybe it's even slowed down. And you just have the drums slow down. Whatever it has to be. And then you'll come to realize, oh man, that little breakdown that I did after the old chorus, definitely how the song should start. Already you're just like bobbing your head. That shit sounds good. Goosebumps. Then you got your 2 choruses or verses. Sorry. After that second verse, plug the chorus back in there. Then you got to think of a bridge. This is the hardest part because you want your song to have 3 grabbing points, and really it comes down to intro verse. Boom. That's your first, like, ooh, that kind of intro, like, all right. And then the verse comes in, okay, I'm listening. Then you got the big chorus, and you're like, yes. But if you want a really crushing song, you add that element of surprise right there after the second chorus, a bridge. Boom. Another part of the song that is different from the rest of the song, but still makes sense. That's probably the hardest part. I think writing a bridge has been what me and my bandmates have struggled with the most in songwriting, because our singer, Brendan, is a very talented, gifted songwriter, and he comes over with these gnarly choruses. They always sound fucking great. He's amazing at it. And then he's like, yep, that's all I got, bro. And then we'll sit down and we'll do verses. Yep, sounds good, bro. And then it's like, all right, let's write a bridge. Fucking dead silence for weeks. And then eventually we're like, okay. And then he'll come up. And then, yeah, it's the hardest part. Because you don't want it to sound the same as the rest of the song. Because then the song is fucking boring. Don't want boring songs. You don't want boring songs. So you got to have a nice bridge or a break or a breakdown. Like whatever it is, just have that nice little change up. That's the beauty of it. And then you can come in with the final chorus. And I would say the final chorus should 100% be different, even if just the drums slow down, whatever you got to do to change up that last chorus. And then you just have to have an outro. And that can be there's so many. It's just like with the songwriting in general. There's a million different ways you can end a song. But I would say just to spice it up a little bit, you don't got to spend weeks thinking of, oh my God, how is the song going to go from being loud to 0 decibels and hearing nothing at all? Just be a little clever. It could just be, damn, damn, bam, song fades out, or it could just be down, cuts, or it can just be, just vocals by itself, and then the song's over. There's a million different things you can do. That's not the hardest part. And like I said, just fucking cut that shit. And then when you get the whole vibe of the whole song, you'll know what belongs at the end. You'll just hear it. It just eventually will come to your ear hole and you'll be like, that's how the song should end. So let's recap. Start with a chorus, melody. And then be like, what could come after that? You'll hear it. Cool. Man, that sounds like it could be an intro. Boom, plug that shit in the intro. And then come back after the chorus. How should the verse go? It should slow down a little bit, right? Back it off, let the vocals breathe, let that chorus be that big, beautiful, sexy chorus that it is, and then back it off for the verse, kind of slow it down, get people kind of cruising. So when that second chorus comes in, and we're back and lit, you know what I mean? And then after that, that's when you play around. Play around. Really dig deep and think of what can make this song even better than the song you already have. That's the best part. I think it's extremely crucial to have a kick-ass bridge, really. Think of what kind of bridge you could do. There's a million other ways to do it. For an example, just take your, if you want an easy bridge, take your chorus and manipulate the chords a little bit and sing something similar, almost like a second chorus, like a different way to sing it, but also lyrically make that the whole, like the best lyrics in the whole song, like to literally sum up exactly what the song represents in that bridge. Really pulls it together. And then that bridge only happening once and it being so exciting is the single reason that people are going to come back and listen to that song again. That's the beauty of bridges. Bridges are my favorite parts of songs, honestly. Like if the chorus is unbeatable, then the chorus is unbeatable. But if the chorus is good and there's a great bridge, I'll take that over a amazing smashing chorus any day. Is to have a really, really good chorus and a sick ass bridge just hiding behind it. That's just my opinion, but I'm telling you guys, songwriting is very crucial, but you don't want to just write the same shit all the time. You really don't. And honestly, picking your guitar tuning is one of the most difficult things too. Unless you already listen to a band and you're like, I like the way their guitar sounds, and you just manipulate that, your voice might not go with it. I mean, it is what it is. Just pick whatever tuning just fits. And you really have to experiment. Practice every day, play every day, experiment every day, do all this different shit, and you'll get better. You'll discover new things about yourself. You'll discover new things about your instrument. You'll discover new things about the kind of songs that you can write, the kind of thoughts. This is also, it's just therapeutic. Honestly, songwriting can get all that pent up shit that you got going on, aggression, depression, whatever it is, and just let that shit go. Letting that shit go in music is it's a magic. It's magic. For real. It's a superpower. I don't know how it works, but it works. Really helps keep your head straight. So yeah, that's basically it. That's all I wanted to talk about today, songwriting. So write a bomb-ass chorus, find out what needs to go after it. You'll hear it. Apply that to the intro. Figure out your verses just based on how the chorus and the post-chorus go. And then really hone in on that bridge. Really hone in on that bridge. And then your third and final chorus should definitely take a step back and just be big and beautiful, but slowed down maybe. Just it has to be different somehow. It could pick up maybe. Just make sure it's different than the first two. You don't want it to be too repetitive. Then slap on a little outro. That's just the basics of songwriting. I'll do another episode where I talk more in depth about songwriting and we'll go really deep and talk about the really different individual things. But that's just the basis. If you want to pick up your instrument and start writing songs now, there is your foundation. I've just given it to you. So if you're new to this and you want to start writing music, listen to what I've told you and just apply it. That's all you got to do. I'm telling you, write 5, 10, 15 songs with that formula, and you will surprise yourself at how good some of your songs turn out just with that little formula, with that little curriculum that I gave you. Okay? Awesome. I'm glad I could help somebody today. Hopefully, if you're listening. If not, whatever. All right. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I love you so much. My name is Andrew Laird, and I will catch you next week.